Welcome to my best presentation ever on presentations. This is me as a kid, and in some ways I haven't changed much. Back then I was shy, introverted. When meeting new people I would cling to my parents' legs. Even now, two things that make me very nervous are going to parties with strangers and giving presentations. But when I turned 5, my parents gave my older brother a toy piano. He didn't care about it, but I loved it. I grabbed it and I just played it, and I begged my parents for lessons. I got good, but I still didn't like playing for other people. Every year we had these recitals that I dreaded. My whole goal was to get done as quickly as possible. When I turned 12, I saw the movie Amadeus. In the movie, Mozart does this trick where he plays the piano lying on his back. I was intrigued, and I figured out how to do the same trick. Well, the main technique is to cross your arms when you play. Soon after, at a Boy Scout event, there was a piano, and for some reason, while I was shy, I decided to try my trick for them. The kids loved the trick, and I loved the positive attention. Then, as a teenager, I learned a really important lesson. Girls love live music. When I played the piano, girls suddenly realized that I existed, and that was pretty cool. So any chance that I could get near a piano, I would play. I then joined chorus and found myself doing school musicals, which leads to an interesting paradox. I was shy, but I loved to play music as an icebreaker. I got nervous thinking about performing, but I enjoyed making people happy. Which leads me to today's topic, giving presentations. Last Christmas, my mom gave me a copy of Talk Like Ted by Carmine Gallo because she knows that I love my TED Talks. My iPhone is filled with the TED podcast. So I read it, and as the cover claims, it is organized into 9 secrets of successful TED presenters. I couldn't help but connect these secrets to the lessons that I learned while playing the piano. I break these lessons into 3 key parts. Prepare. This is how you deal with being nervous. Connect. This is how you get your audience to like you. And edutain, a word that I stole from Disney because I have to try to include Disney in pretty much every one of my presentations. Edutain is a combination of educate and entertain. This is how you get your message across. So the first topic is prepare. The best way to fight being nervous is to practice. After I run through my presentation a bunch of times, then it doesn't really matter that I'm nervous. I start, muscle memory takes over, and eventually I get into the flow, sort of fake it until you make it. But to really become comfortable with presentations, you don't need to just practice, but you need deliberate practice, which is practice with feedback. It's one thing to run your presentation over and over, but without feedback, how do you know that you're actually getting better? And for a shy person like me, the easiest way to get feedback is to record yourself and watch the result. Yes, it's painful, but you'll dramatically improve. Over time, you'll find that nice, slow conversational tone. You'll reduce your ums and your uhs. You'll figure out what to do with your hands. And you'll find other tricks. Like if you get lost, don't apologize, don't look down, but instead look up. Just take a moment. Time is actually, you can take your time during a presentation. Look up, think about your next topic, and then move forward. Your audience has no idea what you really intended to say, so you have some latitude. You may never learn to like watching yourself in a recording, but eventually you'll gain confidence in your ability to give presentations. So if there's one thing that you can take away from this talk, to handle being nervous, use deliberate practice. Here's a quote. If you want me to speak for 10 minutes, I will need a week of preparation. But if you want me to talk for an hour, I'm ready right now. This quote has been attributed to many people, including Abraham Lincoln, and this particular version to Woodrow Wilson in a biography. The punchline is, if you know a topic well, it's easy to ramble on and fill up time. But to write a concise presentation, you need to take time to refine and organize your message. A concise talk will grab a person, get their attention, and keep them focused. So how do you do that? Gallo suggests that you use the 3-story structure. First, you summarize your talk with a Twitter-friendly headline, which is best presentation ever on presentations. Then identify 3 most important messages of your talk. Finally, reinforce your 3 messages with supporting stories, statistics, and examples. This is the organization chart for the talk that I'm giving right now, which I guess is meta. My 3 main messages are that in order to give a great presentation, you need to prepare, connect, and edutain. Another example is a TED Talk given by Dr. Jill Taylor, a neuroscientist who experienced a stroke. Her title was My Stroke of Insight, and she spent 6 minutes on her 3 topics: the circuitry of the brain, her experience on the day that she had her stroke, and the insight that her experience gave to her on life in general. Now, at first, 3 punchlines feel very restrictive, but it's easy to remember, both for the audience and for you. 3 is snappy. It forces you to focus on what's most important, and therefore improves the impact of your talk. Moving on to connecting with your audience. As my daughter told me, I like this, always be yourself. Unless you can be Batman, then always be Batman. My favorite TED Talks are the people who seem real. They talk normally, they're unassuming, and genuinely like what they're talking about. The TED Talks that drive me crazy are the people who talk like they are going to change the world. Oh, you can tell this is a live presentation. Here comes my dog. People can spot a phony. To connect with your audience, you have to be yourself. Use your words. Pull stories from your life. Work on getting a natural conversational tone. Ironically, to sound natural, you need deliberate practice. To look and sound comfortable, you need to spend time giving your presentation in front of a camera. I like to consider myself a logical person who is guided by facts. I firmly believe that objective evidence is vital to getting to the truth. But to connect to an audience, to reach their hearts and minds, you need a good story. If I'm watching a talk on climate change, a chart that shows a 2-degree global increase of temperature is intellectually frightening. But it's hard to envision. I'm human. Give me a mental image of a polar bear stuck on an ice sheet, and you'll move me. To me, the most compelling talks are a combination of stories and evidence. Stories make it personal, helps the audience emotionally connect to your story, to your topic, while evidence gives weight to your claims. We're social creatures. So build a story into your presentation, and if it's a personal story, even better. Also, to connect to your audience, lighten up. Of course you're nervous, and you want your message to be taken seriously. But humor is powerful. Humor lowers people's defenses, makes the audience more receptive to your message, and makes you more likable. However, my daughter Sarah will happily tell anyone that my jokes are not funny. I admit it. I am awesome at dad jokes, and I am pretty surprised when anyone likes my Facebook posts. So don't try to be funny. Avoid canned jokes, especially dirty jokes, because they will disconnect you from your audience. Instead of jokes, use the humor and funny situations that naturally relate to your topic. 5 great sources of humor include stories, analogies, quotes, video, and photos. I have an example of each of these in my talk. Pardon me. I'm using my right hand to distract the dog. Live demo, folks. Let's move to edutaining your audience. A combination of entertain and educate. People love learning new things. When you learn something new that piques your interest, your brain releases dopamine. Now, you may have heard of dopamine because it's that feel-good reward chemical that is released when you win a game, fall in love, or take chemicals like cocaine. So that cognitive aha moment you have when you learn something new is a natural high that your brain uses to help you remember. Now, if you're giving a talk, you're doing it because you have some piece of information that you want to share. If that information is new and interesting, congratulations! You are making your audience legally high. But what if you're giving a refresher course? For example, that boring annual safety presentation. If you can combine the old information with something new, like the latest statistics, new stories, or recent lessons learned, then you will get your audience to learn something new, and they will be happier as a result. So remember, new and interesting information means dopamine, means happy audience. If you can, try to add what Gallo calls a jaw-dropping moment. Of course, TED Talks have some amazing jaw-dropping moments. In a talk on malaria, Bill Gates released live mosquitoes into the audience. Dr. Taylor, she pulled out a real brain with a spinal cord hanging down. Many people in the audience squirmed, but they were riveted. You don't have to go that far. But how do you create a moment that makes your audience say, wow? One way is with a demo. If you're talking about software, give a demo of the software. Wow moments can also be created through shocking facts, pictures, videos, and of course, personal stories. Jaw-dropping moments depend on your audience. I know a bunch of software engineers who would get excited seeing a demo of automated test-driven development tools. Not for everyone. So think of your topic, think of your audience, and create some moment that people can latch onto. Finally, to edutain, you have to keep people's attention. When it comes to presentations, less is more. Learning is fun, but it's also draining. When you learn, you get sleepy because rest is important for creating long-term memories. TED Talks are only 18 minutes long to allow the audience to keep their focus. Business presentations are typically longer. So to help people keep their focus, try to create natural breaks every 18 to 20 minutes. A natural break can be a change in presenter, a video, a demo, some sort of audience participation, like a live quiz. So keep your presentation short or add natural breaks. Now, another way of keeping people's attention is to simplify your slides. If you're reading directly from your slides, so will your audience. They won't connect to you. Refine your message to use simple pictures, important figures, and key lines of text. This is hard work, and it takes practice, but the result has so much more impact. So in summary, prepare to turn your nervousness into an asset through deliberate practice, refining your message, and the 3-story structure. Connect to get your audience to like you by being yourself, telling stories, and lightening up. Edutain to successfully get your message across through teaching something new, jaw-dropping moments, and keeping their attention. Remember, your audience wants you to succeed. They want to be entertained. They're rooting for you. In the end, all you have to do is be yourself and show your sincere passion for your topic. Thank you.